Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to J-Speak. Thanks for tuning in. Just a big thank you to all the supporters. I really appreciate all the likes and subscribes. If you like what I'm doing, comment below, like it, tell your friends, subscribe. It's awesome. Okay, so jumping right in. Got a question about wattages. So, and I think it's more related to smaller versus larger, etc. So what's a 5 watt amp going to do against a 100 watt amp? Well, in most cases, the big debate is between 50 watts and 100 watts. And you're talking 3 decibels overall, which really isn't that loud. Especially at the amps you're probably going to play them. Even at gig volume, depending on size of the room, you might average 120 decibels, if that. I mean, it really just depends what you're gigging. But in general, large versus smaller. So the smaller the amp, so if you have a 5 watt, using the volume knob or the gain knob, you are going to break up and get more distortion a lot quicker at a lower volume than, say, a 100 watt amp. A 100 watt amp, it might take you till 10, 11 o'clock to actually get the amp to break up at all, depending on the manufacturer. So headroom's a consideration. So make sure that you've got something that fits your need there. Now, speaker options can also be limited. So if you have a 100 watt amp and, say, a 112 cabinet, generally speakers are only rated at, between 25, maybe 70 watts a piece, maybe 80 tops. For a 100 watt amp, your power rating's a little off. You're going to need multiple speakers, a 212, a 412, etc., to be able to handle that amount of wattage. So you got to be really careful with power handling. So again, it's in what you need. A 30 watt amp and a 112 shouldn't be a problem. And possibly a 50 watt amp and a 112 might not be a problem if you have, say, a V30, which is 60 watts in that cab. Now, the other thing is, what are you doing with it? Are you gigging with it? Are you playing at home? Are you playing in the studio? In the studio, you can get away with 5 watt amps. I mean, shoot, Zeppelin, they record with 5 watt amps all day long, and it's known for a classic rock sound. So you don't need a 100 watt amp in the studio. And to be honest with you, it can really be a pain in the butt for a engineer to mic that beast up and get it to sound proper. But obviously you can do it. There shouldn't be an issue with it. But, be honest with yourself. What are you going to use it for? Which brings into the next question. So realistically, what are you going to do with it? Are you gigging? And if you are you gigging in small pubs that don't hold that many people? Or if you show up with a 100 watt half stack and you got a 412, chances are you're going to be told to take that 412, point it to the wall, point it to the back. They'll mic you. They're going to tell you to turn down a whole lot so you're not blowing the front room out of the place. So you really have to put in perspective, what do you need it for? They make power scaling and half watt switches and all that stuff. So you can get a 100 watt amp that might be played at 50 watts or 50 watt to a 25. Or some of the Mesas can run multiple wattages. You've got 90, 45, 25, 10. And a lot of times you might find that 10 watts actually is the sweet spot. You can get it, not blaringly loud, but you get enough breakup in it that the tone is right where you need it, and it's only 10 watts. But you have the ability to run the amp at a full 50 watts. Again, be realistic about what you're going to use it for. What do you need it? If you're going to play at home and it's going to be a bedroom amp, you don't need a 100 watt amp. If you're going to gig and you're going to play all over the place, even 100 watts is probably too much. 50 watts is probably the most you ever need to play. Really, 100 watt amps were made for back in the day when sending your guitar amplifier through a PA just was not as possible as it is now. The mic capabilities weren't there, and you needed 100 watts through multiple 412s to really get the sound out to the audience. So most of us are probably good with 30 watts, and that's a nice medium. You get good breakup, not too loud. Can definitely get over a drummer. You get good breakup, good clean sounds. So yeah, man, be realistic, get what you need, and yeah, that should do it. This week, I found a couple demos that I made a while ago on the Digitech pedals. So I'm just gonna go nuts. I'm gonna release the unboxing of the Ventura Vibe and the Obscura Delay, as well as a demo for each. So check those out. You're getting 4 videos this week, 2 with actual content and 2 unboxings. So if you're into that, and keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming, like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.